California, and I'm going to talk a little bit today about Florida. Clearly I did not cover all of the amazing things that go on in our state, well, my home state, in this short amount of time, but it's good, the bad, the ugly. So, this is our state flag. It's pretty, it's not a Confederate flag, and it's not the Georgia flag, Christian. So, when you think of Florida, what comes to mind? Anybody?
Crazy people.
Palm trees.
Old people.
Alligators. Come back to
All of those things are very true. So, old people, right? And that's alligators. This happens. Or is it this? So, those are some of the fun stereotypes that we have. Let's see here. So, I'm just going to give you some cool facts about Florida. So, Florida, it is a peninsula state. It's got the longest coastline in the United States, not including Alaska. 8,436 miles, so a lot of beach area. And that's according to NOAA. There's other researchers out there, but we're going with NOAA. We have a huge population. It's Miami Beach. There's no naked people on it. So 2016 poll, we had 20.6 million residents in Florida. And I didn't know this, but from any point in the state, you can drive within 60 miles and be at the beach. There might not be a road, but if you can figure it out, you're no more than 60 miles. We do have this really cool thing called Everglades National Park. If you've never been to Florida and you're going to go, I would suggest going there and going on like a swamp tour. It's really pretty. So these are just some pictures that I got off the internet. Really nice sunsets. These are all just typical resident kind of thing going on there. There are alligators everywhere. Let's see what else about the Everglades. It's 1.5 million acres of wildlife refuge. It's home to 73 endangered species, and it is the largest subtropical ecosystem in the continent of North America. So we have Florida panthers. That's not an alligator, that's actually an American crocodile. West Indian manatees. And this is a snail kite hawk. They eat apple snails. I thought it was kind of cool. And then there's me. And that's a Florida panther cub that I actually got to hand raise when I was a kid. So he's since deceased. Obviously, that's a cool picture. Let's see. We have a lot of really cool things too. We have Busch Gardens, SeaWorld, Universal, and Disney, which includes Animal Kingdom and the happiest place on earth. We're better than California. I messed the slide up, but anyway, this is part of the Keys. It's really pretty down there too. If you've never been to the Keys, I would suggest going. There's a lot of really fun things to do in the Keys. It's got the 7 Mile Bridge. It's a long chain of islands. It separates the Atlantic from the Gulf of Mexico. And it's got the southernmost point in the United States, which is 90 miles from Cuba. You can get your picture taken. There's some really fun things in the Keys too, specifically Key West. So they have this thing called Pride Fest. It's a lot of fun if you've never been. It gets a little wild. I had to find like pictures that were acceptable for a public talk. And interestingly enough, they call themselves a Conch Republic. And in 1982, the Keys decided to secede from the Union. They're actually the only area within the United States that was able to do so. And a minute later, they asked for $1 billion in federal foreign aid from the U.S. government. They're part of the states again. It didn't last. But they did it in response to a U.S. Border Patrol blockade that they were trying to impose on U.S. Highway 1, which, if you know anything about Florida, is the only road that goes in and out of the Keys. So They're a little wild down there. So the stereotypes. Yeah, they exist for a reason. This is like it's an honest map. I mean, I'm from here. This is like Fort Lauderdale, Miami. This is all swamp. NFL players come from Belle Glade. Space Coast here. NASCAR and Truck Attacks, it's true. This whole area is all rednecks. It's all rednecks. It's a lot of fun. Let's see. So there are old people, and they are. This is very, very typical of Florida. You have grandma with a gun. Yeah, I would not be surprised to go over to someone's house and see that. These kind of just speak for themselves. So we have really intense winters. If it gets below 70, I just don't know what to do with myself. Yeah, it's harsh. I mean, we go to the beach and we have to wear pants. We celebrate Christmas. We decorate, our palm trees. Yeah, a lot of palm trees. This is actually in my home area. This is the island of Palm Beach going over there. Let's see. And then we have this fun weather situation. So we get lots of hurricanes. Yeah, category 1. Don't even bother telling me about it. I don't have to do anything besides maybe buy extra alcohol. Probably not even that. Yeah. This picture is probably not even a hurricane. It's probably just an afternoon storm in Florida. That's what they look like. People are nuts when it comes to hurricanes. We like to party, and unless there's a real reason, like we have to evacuate, and even then, we're not gonna. So, yeah, and they'll trick you. Don't fall for this one. I knew a guy. It didn't work out so good for him. And you can see this all over when there are hurricanes, and they're a lot of fun. People just get crazy. Now, I don't know if you notice anything about this particular picture, but I have taken pictures just like this myself, driving, usually from Wellington. The foreground is nice and pretty and bright, and then if you look in his rearview mirror, big old storm. Very true. If you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes. Let's see, what else? So we have some really fun news stories. So this next slide is just a bunch of headlines. And they are all 100% legitimate. They are true. I've checked them out. I've read the stories. Yeah. I mean, I know nuggets are important to a lot of people, but it's just like ridiculous. They're absolutely ridiculous stories. And I mean, I can honestly say most of these don't come from my area, but some of them do. I didn't know that was a thing, so I guess I'm missing out. Squirrels, I don't know. Do you remember the cockroach?
I can't read the last one.
Okay, so the purple one is a guy died after eating a bunch of cockroaches in a cockroach eating contest. That was in Boynton. Just so you know.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. You remember the Wendy's drive-thru? Yes. That was only a few. That is not far from where I live. Yeah, it happened. It was like a 3-foot gator. Anyway. Harmonica problems, I don't know. Just fun stuff. Fun stuff.
Ew.
So, we get a little wild. So, besides all the nut stuff, there's a lot of fun things to do. So we have Winter Equestrian Festival and polo during the winter time, which is a lot of fun. You can go and watch the horses compete and, you know, get drunk at polo on Sundays, dress up, see all the rich people that drive fancy cars. You can go fishing. These are pictures that I took off my dad's boat.
What's that fish? Where's that fish?
This one, that's a skipjack tuna. That's a wahoo. That's a sailfish. I call all three of those sailfish. This is just a cool picture I took. I was not puking for once. We also have Daytona Beach, which has Daytona International Speedway, home to the Daytona 500, the Daytona 200, if you're into motorcycle racing. It's pretty cool. I've never been. I would totally suggest going. It's an experience. This is Bike Week, which is the week after Speed Week. And I don't think you can do this anymore, but you used to be able to drive on Daytona Beach, park your car, and hang out. Yeah, and that's about it. And then I just have some.
I know. It's cute that those cars are from.
I know.
We don't have those cars anymore.
When I was like 12, maybe.
That one that's from?
Yeah, it is actually. I was like 12, I remember driving over to St. Augustine and we stopped at Daytona and we parked on the beach. Yeah, really? So that's pretty much it. And then I just have pictures that I've taken that I thought were kind of pretty. So this is Palm Beach, like between Lake Worth Beach and Palm Beach, it's Phipps Park. This is my parents' canal. That's where they live. I took this in Hope Sound. This is driving in the middle of nowhere. Really, we get really cool cloud formations. This is the beach where I live. I can technically walk to this beach, but I'm not allowed to do that. And then the best part of Florence is my house. That's it.